So, for the last couple of years, we've all gotten pretty used to chatting with AI, right? But what if I told you the next huge leap isn't about having a better conversation? It's about getting things done. It's about action. We're stepping into a new era where AI is being taught to actually do things for us in our digital world. And believe me, that changes everything. Welcome to the world of AI agents. And I mean, really do things. Not just, looking something up for you or helping you write an email draft. Imagine an AI that could actually book the flight, schedule the meeting, and analyze the latest sales data, all by itself. What if you could hand off an entire digital workflow with just a single request? And that right there, that's the fundamental shift we're talking about. We are moving from having a conversational partner to having an autonomous teammate. This is the very beginning of an AI that doesn't just talk with you, but actually goes out and acts on your behalf. Okay, so to really get our heads around this massive leap, we've got to look past the idea of a simple chatbot. We need to meet the core concept that's making all of this possible, the AI agent. So what is it? Well, the formal definition might sound a little technical, but the idea behind it is actually super simple. An agent sees what's going on, it decides what to do, and then, well, it does it. See, unlike a chatbot that just kind of waits around for your next question, an agent looks at the goal you gave it and starts figuring out the steps to get there, all on its own. Probably the best way to think about this is like you're hiring a new employee, a digital one. And this employee is unbelievably fast, never gets tired, and lives right inside your computer. You don't have to micromanage them, you just give them a high-level goal, and they use their own skills and tools to figure out how to make it happen. Okay, so if you've got this new digital employee, what's the first thing you need? Well, for them to be useful, they need capabilities. They need to be trained. And in the world of AI agents, these specific, teachable capabilities are called skills. And honestly, they're the secret sauce to this whole thing. So let's really map this analogy out because it makes everything just click into place. The agent, that's your new digital teammate. The goal, that's the project you give them, something like plan the team offsite. The skill is a specific training they have, like knowing how to search the web or how to check a calendar. And the tool, well, that's just the software that you use to get the job done. Your browser, your calendar app, you get the idea. All right, so how does an agent actually, use one of these skills? It's not some black box magic. It's a really logical four-step process. Let's peel back the curtain and take a look at the anatomy of a skill in action. So it all kicks off with a trigger. That's just you giving a command. Then the agent gets smart. It figures out the parameters, the key bits of info it needs to work with. So if you say, find venues in Austin, it knows venues and Austin are the important parts. Next up, tool selection. It picks the right software for the job, in this case, a web browser. And finally, execution. It just goes and does the search. And this leads to maybe the most crucial point of all. These skills are trainable. This is a repeatable process. You can actually teach an agent a brand new, custom skill for your company. Something like query our customer database or generate the weekly report. It's exactly like you'd train a new human employee on a process that's specific to your business. All right, that's a lot of theory, which is great, but let's make it real. Let's see how all these pieces, the agent, the goal, the skills, actually come together to tackle a practical, real-world example. So, here's our mission. Plan the team offsite. We've all been there, right? It's usually a ton of tedious back-and-forth emails, checking calendars. It can be a real pain. But this time, we're just going to give our agent one simple goal. Plan the team offsite. And now, we just watch it go to work.
So, the first thing the agent thinks is, okay, to plan an offsite, I need to find some places. Simple enough? So it activates its web search skill, knowing that's the right tool for the job. It jumps into a browser and starts looking for potential venues. That's the first link in the chain.
Right, so now it has a list of potential spots. What's next? Well, are people even free on those dates? The agent's logic kicks in. It activates its calendar skill, pulls up the team calendar, and starts cross-referencing availability with the venue's open dates. You see what's happening here, right? The output from the first skill, that list of venues, is now the input for the second skill. It's building a chain reaction. But it's not just going to go and book some random place. That wouldn't be very smart. Instead, it narrows the options down to the top 3 that actually work for everyone. Then, it uses its email skill to draft and send a message to the team to get their final input. The entire complex task is almost complete, and we've barely lifted a finger. And that right there is the magic of it all. See, there wasn't one giant, super complicated skill called plan an offsite. No way. It was a chain of simple, individual skills. Search the web, check a calendar, send an email. The agent was just smart enough to intelligently sequence them together to achieve a much bigger, more complex objective. So let's zoom out a little. What are the bigger implications here? Because this technology isn't just a new feature. It represents a fundamental shift in how we interact with our tools and how we architect the very future of work itself. The shift is from being the doer to being the director. Before, you were the one in the weeds. You had to manually research, compare, and book travel. Now, you provide the high-level intent. You just say, book me the most efficient trip to the London conference. Instead of spending hours compiling sales data into a report, you say, summarize this week's sales and highlight anything that looks weird. Our role evolves from being a micromanager of clicks to being a strategic leader, focusing on the why instead of the how. And this really is the ultimate question this technology leaves us with. As we begin to delegate more and more of our digital tasks to these agents, we are freed up. We get back time, focus, and creative energy. So the real question for all of us will be, what will we do with that? What will we build with that newfound freedom? It's a future we're all architecting right now.